Good morning and welcome back to this channel. I'm currently in the south of France where I'm doing a cruise on the Canal du Midi. Now when I'm saying a cruise, I don't mean I'm just sitting on a boat for a week. Actually, we've rented a boat for a week, which means we're doing everything ourselves. We're cooking ourselves, we're steering the boat, we're docking, we're navigating, and it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna show you what life on board was like, show you the boat we rented, and tell you exactly what you could expect if you want to recreate this trip. Make sure to watch until the end of the video because I'm gonna be sharing some useful information for first-time boat renters. Alright, let's start this off with a look around the boat we rented for the week. This boat fits up to 4 people and is super comfy. It is not the first time we rented a boat, but this one has to be one of my favorites. You can steer both outside and inside, which is great for rainy days. There are 2 separate decks and there is a fully functional shower, which is not always the case. The starting point of our journey was Archamps, which is not too far from Marseille in the south of France. We then traveled upstream on the Canal du Midi. The Canal du Midi is a historic canal that connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Atlantic Ocean. It was built in the 17th century and is considered a masterpiece of engineering for its time. It is a popular destination for boating and hiking and is also recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Obviously, we didn't cover the whole canal on this trip since we only had 1 week, but we traveled up to Castelnaudary, which was about 70 kilometers. At a max speed of 10 kilometers per hour, that meant about 2 hours 15 minutes of boating per day. A big part of the experience was going through the more than 30 locks on our way. Locks are structures that are used to raise or lower boats between different water levels. They work by filling or emptying a chamber with water so that the water level inside the lock is the same as the water level on one side or the other. This allows boats to move between areas of different water levels. At first, this process might seem a bit complicated, but it gets easier every time you go through it. On a typical day on the boat, we would set out after breakfast and travel upstream for about 1 hour. Then we would have lunch in a town and have a look around there as well. Maybe buy some groceries or see a market. In the afternoon, we would travel for 1 or 2 more hours before getting to a harbor for the night. It's a lot of fun discovering new places every evening, and my favorite town on this trip was Carcassonne, which has a gorgeous medieval castle to explore. In the evening, we usually hung out on the boat and watch a movie or read a book. Alright, here are a few more tips if you consider renting a boat yourself. Number 1, don't travel the whole day. Leave time for excursions as well. Although you might be tempted to cover a lot of distance, make sure to take enough time to see the small villages along the way. The beautiful thing about this trip is how slow you move and you can appreciate the details. Number 2, you don't need any previous education for the boat. Just turn up and you will get all the instructions you need by the person who actually owns the boat. Number 3, make sure your boat is covered well by insurance. It's practically inevitable that you will add a few more scratches to your boat throughout the week. Welcome to Paris. There's hardly another city in Europe where you can do as many different things as here in Paris. The possibilities are really endless. So here are 5 things to do in Paris. Number 1, visit the Arc de Triomphe. This iconic monument stands at the center of the Place Charles de Gaulle and offers stunning views of the city from its observation deck. As you approach the arch, you'll be impressed by its size and detailed design, featuring carvings and sculptures that pay tribute to France's military victories and heroes. The arch was commissioned by Napoleon Bonaparte in 1806 and completed in 1836 after his death. The names of major French military leaders and battles are inscribed on the arc's walls, including the tomb of the unknown soldier from World War I. Once inside, you'll climb up a winding staircase to reach the top, where you'll be greeted with panoramic views of the Champs-Élysées, the Eiffel Tower and other landmarks. Number 2, go shopping on the Champs-Élysées. The avenue is lined with high-end boutiques, luxury brands and department stores, making it a shopper's paradise. Whether you're looking for designer clothing, jewelry or food, the Champs-Élysées has something for everyone. And if you're not so much into spending even more money in Paris, it is still a very nice and iconic walk from the Arc de Triomphe all the way to the Louvre Museum. Number 3, enjoy the gorgeous gardens of Versailles. These gardens are one of the most stunning examples of landscape architecture in the world. The gardens were designed in the 17th century and they cover over 800 hectares of land. The gardens feature numerous fountains, statues and flower beds, all designed to create a harmonious and aesthetically pleasing landscape. Take a stroll through the gardens, admire the beautiful views of the castle and relax on the lawns and maybe have an ice cream. The gardens of Versailles are separately ticketed, so you don't need a ticket for the palace itself to enter the gardens. Number 4, go for a delicious Vietnamese feast at Tien Hàng. This small restaurant in the 13th arrondissement is family owned and serves vegetarian dishes only. We were super happy with the food and tried a lot of dishes. No reservation is needed or accepted for this one. Number 5, you got to take a picture at Trocadero. It is a platform that offers some of the most spectacular views of the Eiffel Tower. There is a metro station right by the platform, so it is super convenient. Make sure to visit in the evening and see the tower sparkle every full hour. It can get very crowded here and there are many people selling stuff, but this doesn't take away from the incredible view of the tower. Welcome to Paris. This city can be overwhelming and it's enormous if you arrive here for the first time. So here are 5 spots I would visit if it was my first time visiting. Number 1, you got to see the Louvre Museum. It is one of the most significant cultural landmarks in the world and home to an impressive collection of over 35,000 artworks, including paintings, sculptures and artifacts, spanning several centuries of human history. Visitors can see iconic pieces such as the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, the Winged Victory and the Venus de Milo. In addition to these well-known pieces, the museum also houses an extensive collection of European paintings, Ancient Greek and Roman sculptures, Egyptian artifacts, and Islamic art. The sheer variety of artworks on display at the Louvre is breathtaking, and it would take you days to see everything. The museum is housed in the historic Louvre Palace, a former royal palace that dates back to the 12th century, which means the building alone is worth a visit. Alright, now we're here at the Notre Dame Church, still a crowd favorite. It burned in 2019, so there's lots of construction work going on. They're still rebuilding it, and we can't get inside or get too close, but they've built a viewing platform that we're gonna check out, and it's still worth seeing. It's still beautiful. Number 2, Notre Dame. The cathedral is an architectural Gothic masterpiece that should not be missed. The cathedral has been a site of royal coronations and funerals and has witnessed some of the country's most significant events. During the French Revolution, Notre Dame was damaged and nearly destroyed, and on April 15, 2019, a devastating fire broke out, causing significant damage to the iconic landmark. As a response to the fire, a massive fundraising effort was launched to finance the restoration of the cathedral, which is estimated to cost over 800 million euros. The cathedral is expected to reopen to the public in 2024, just in time for the Paris Olympics. Number 3, the Palace of Versailles is one of the most beautiful, historically significant landmarks in France. It is located just outside of Paris, and it was the seat of the French monarchy from the late 17th to the early 18th century. Alright, just arrived at the main entrance, and there's a huge line right away. We got tickets beforehand, but still need to wait in line. The palace features a blend of Baroque and classic styles with grand halls and extravagant furniture. Visitors can explore the state apartments, which were used by the royal family for ceremonies and reception, and the Hall of Mirrors, which is lined with 17 mirrors that reflect the palace's beautiful gardens. The palace was the center of political power in France during the reign of Louis XIV, who commissioned the palace construction in the late 17th century. It was also the site of the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, which marked the end of World War I. Number 4, go see La Défense. La Défense is a modern business district. While it may not have the historic charm of other Parisian neighborhoods, it offers a unique and exciting experience for tourists looking to explore a different side of the city. One of the main draws of La Défense is its impressive architecture. The district is home to a number of striking modern buildings, including the Grand Arche, a massive arc-shaped building. If you walk up the stairs of the Arc, you can get an amazing view down the Champs-Élysées towards the Arc de Triomphe. Number 5, you got to see the Sacré-Cœur Cathedral, also known as the Basilica of the Sacred Heart. It is one of the most iconic landmarks in Paris and can get very busy. The cathedral was built in the late 19th century, and its distinctive style sets it apart from other Parisian cathedrals. Once you have reached the entrance of the cathedral, turn around and quickly enjoy the view over Paris before you head inside and have a moment of silence. and welcome back to this channel. Today we are in Colmar in the Alsace region. Now Alsace is a very special place. It's a melting pot between French and German culture, and over the past it has once been French, then it has been German again, then French again, German again, and now French again. So you can really see these two cultures come together. And Colmar is a beautiful place to explore the Alsace culture because this town has been preserved and it's still in a beautiful state. So let's go and have a look around. Where to start in Colmar? There are beautiful houses all around us. Really don't know where to start. We just had a typical kind of pizza. It's a specific dish from this area here. There's lots of cheese on it and we're now having to explore around. First thing we came across is kind of a food hall. So we're hoping to find some good coffee in there. We couldn't find a coffee in the food market. It was more just like a regular day-to-day market. But we're enjoying wandering around so much. I'm blown away by the architecture you can find here. As I said, this wasn't touched much during the war, so it's still in perfect condition. And we're now checking out Little Venice. For €7 per person, you can also get on a boat and they're gonna give you a tour around that part of the town. Super excited for it. We're now stepping on the boats. So we had a wonderful ride there around Little Venice here in Colmar. It took about 25 minutes and as I said only €7 per person, so I definitely recommend it if you're in the town. Something cool to do. We're now outside the hat maker's house. This house was built in the 16th century. Before I came here I had a few special buildings on my list that I definitely wanted to see. But overall, this is really a town. Just walk around, explore by yourself. Don't follow any specific route. Just see what you find along the way. And that wraps up a great day in Colmar. Please, if you're in the area, stop by this town. It's definitely worth it. It can get really busy in summer, so better come on the off-peak days. As I said, it's beautiful to walk around, try the food they have, the Flammkuchen, and get on the boat ride. It's the perfect afternoon out. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.